Right, okay, we're going to do a video to show how to fit the mirror covers with LED on a Discovery 3. Here's a rather nice Discovery 3 we've managed to get hold of today, courtesy of Camtech. Right, so basically these are complete covers, as you can see here, that fit over. They've got some wiring, and then they've got an indicator and a side light function. So we'll show you how to fit it mechanically and wire it in. So let me just put the mirror that way, okay, and then we should be able to pull that off. So it'll be pretty grotty, as you can see, but it clips in there. But what that enables us to do, if I just grab the camera, is what we can do is we can look up there, and that's the central pivot point. Okay, so if I stick a screwdriver up, and what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole at the top here to coincide with the middle of that, and then what we're going to do is thread the wires from the back of the mirror cover down through the top here. So, right, I'll do that. Okay, so what we've got now is we've got a screwdriver that we've just put, a cheap screwdriver we've put a point on, or you could use a bradawl, and what we're going to do is we're going to thread that up through the bottom of the hole here, okay, and then if we push that up hard, okay, underneath, you can probably see it's just made a little dimple there. Okay, so what we're now going to do is drill a hole here to put the wires through. Okay, so we'll just go and get the cordless drill and do that. Okay, so we've just marked that. Now we're going to drill through it, but what we don't want to do is the drill to shoot through too far. You could put a stop on it if you've got that capability, but we're just going to take it easy. It's very soft, the plastic. Okay, so that's the hole, and then if we look through there we can see all the way down through. Okay, so the next job's going to be to thread a bit of wire through so we can pull the wires through. Okay, so what we've got now is we've got a piece of wire that we've just threaded like coat hanger, that we've threaded down, and you can see it coming out the bottom. So now we're ready to tape the we're going to tape the wires to here, and then we can pull it through. But before we do that, we're all ready to go, but what we're going to do is we're going to just put some cleaner on here and get ready to put the silicone on, because when we put it on, we'll remove the tape, so we want an alcohol wipe to clean off the grease, and then we'll have some silicone as an additional bond. So I'll just go through those steps now. Okay, so in the pack we supply, you've got a little alcohol wipe, so it's a moist wipe, so give that a clean. You want to do, there's enough to do both mirrors, so when you're doing it, I think there's only one wipe, so do both mirrors. Okay, and then that'll clean, that'll remove any grease. Now this has had mirror covers on here previously, so it's all a bit war torn, but it'll cover all the sins with our new. Okay, so obviously you've got to remove the double-sided backing tape off the tape here. Okay, it's not too bad. Okay, and the last bit there. And then what we'll do is we'll put some globs of silicone around there, just to stop any vibrations. Okay, so again we supply the silicone. A tube of silicone comes with each kit, so you can use half a tube on each one. Okay, then you'll need to untwist the wires, and it's probably a two-man job this, so we'll get Craig to do some work. Right, and what we're going to do is one of us will hold the mirror. Okay, so we're going to tape these onto the feeder wire, and it's probably best to do it, get one wire on lower down. You want to try and keep it as tight as you can. I haven't done a very pretty job there, because you've got to feed it through. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll just tape one wire on for now, pull that through, and then we'll tape the other wires together and pull them through with the cable. Okay, so let's have a go here. So if we keep pulling, there we go, we've pulled through, and then what we've done is we've taped the other two wires to the black wire so that we can just gently feed all that through. Okay, and then what we'll do is pull in. So these wires will show you the next bit will be how to feed them into the door. Okay, but it's probably easier to do all this external stuff first before we start taking the door card off. Okay, so as it starts to get close, okay, position, that's if I come out on this side, okay, position the mirror, okay, so you can see here there should be just a nice edge, the same all the way round, okay. Grip that on, okay, and then there we go. So that's the first step of the operation done. We've got the mirror on the car, and then we'll show you next how to get this through onto the inside.